people of the internet who might have accidentally mistaken this for something more interesting. This is literally nothing better to do with your gracious host, Erica, and
Lenore, or you can call me Lenny.
Yeah, Lenore, Lenny. And we're going to be talking about beliefs and oddities today. So aliens, ghosts, and the strange world of the internet that goes beyond.
Okay.
By the way, I would like to point out that Lenny was a little bit nervous about how the introduction would go, and I basically said, let's just do this because I'm sick and tired of waiting.
Oh, you didn't have to add that. Now I just have to edit this out.
No, you don't.
You don't?
It's authentic.
Authentic. Yeah, this is authentic. All right, this is authentic as ghost coming into my life. You know what?
Yeah.
I've got a good ghost story since we're starting with ghosts. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, personally, I don't believe in ghosts. I've never experienced ghosts. I've been in a group where everyone experienced some kind of ghost, and I didn't see it, and I still think that there was nothing. So, back when I was a little kid, which is when everyone gets haunted, apparently, I stayed at my godparents' house. It's like this huge eight bedroom kind of house, like this old what's it called, like old Southern style, right?
Are those like those massive houses in LA?
It's so massive. It's really old. It's in Torrance too. If you pass by it, you'll be able to recognize it. You will be able to recognize it. Or Osage Avenue. There used to be like a bunch of, what's it called? We call them the chicas. They're like mentally challenged women, like older, disabled, and that kind of thing. A few people with Down syndrome, and at night, there'd be somebody running around, except there was nobody running around. And everyone was terrified of a ghost. Me, I would have to sleep outside usually, outside the bedrooms. So I'd usually sleep in, like, because I'm staying there, but my godparents don't really like me, so let's not go into that child stuff. So I'd stay in the living room, or I'd stay in the closet, or I'd stay wherever the hell they wanted me to stay. And because of that, I wasn't disquieted. I was a rambunctious kid. I can't sit still, man. It's night. I can't sleep. It's like 11 or something.
Wait,
I'm gonna go watch TV. I'm gonna watch TV.
Are you telling me that everybody thought it was a ghost and it was just you?
Yes. So I found out everyone thought there was a ghost. People were terrified. I would go outside. I would run around. I'd just be bored out of my mind. I'd go up the stairs. I would I'd just go wherever I wanted to go because, like, no one's outside. No one's in here. Everyone's, like, locked in. Like, at some point, they started locking their doors because they were freaking out about some ghost. And really, it's just me going around completely bored out of my mind. And then I found out recently that they actually hired, like, a pastor or exorcist or something like that to, Bendicea, like, go bless every piece of the house. Because they were terrified of a ghost, and they kept coming up. And the thing was, it was me. The entire time, it was me. So I found out that indirectly, I have caused a good number of people to be terrified of ghosts because they thought I was a ghost.
And you probably helped that pastor pay for his mortgage.
Why not? Yeah, here. I'm benefiting the community.
Yeah, totally. Stimulate that economy. It's great.
So kudos to everyone like me who has indirectly caused a ghost story, who has indirectly caused old people to shit their pants.
Oh my gosh. So for me, and you know what? Here's the bummer about today's podcast, because both Lenny and we're both ghost skeptics. Lenny's a non-believer. I'm a skeptic because I can't really disbelieve anything. I don't know. Some things it's really hard for me to 100% disprove anything unless there's evidence. It's a scientist in me.
well, we both have degrees in science, so.
Oh, I know, but it's just, I don't know. I feel like it's a Schrodinger.
Skeptical of anything. It's like, oh, you're a ghost. Okay, whatever. I just don't see it happening.
I just feel like it's a cat in a black box, you know?
Yeah.
Right? It's a total Schrodinger situation. I don't even know how to say it. Oh my gosh.
You mean Schrodinger's cat? If the cat's still in the box, you don't know if it's dead or alive. So that's what you're starting. I actually do not understand this analogy at all.
You don't understand it?
No, I don't.
Okay,
Like,
so the whole deal with
it's
Schrodinger's cat is that there's a cat in the box, and
yeah.
somebody, like, I don't know, Schrodinger must have been a sadist, but he would shoot at the box, right? And you didn't know the cat was dead or alive until you actually looked inside the box.
I thought he put
You
poison
didn't,
in the box. That was
but before you looked inside the box, it was neither dead nor alive, even if you shot at it, because you just don't know.
I
So you
swear,
can't
I heard this
project.
scenario with poison. You put poison in it, you don't know if the cat's dead or alive.
Oh, I heard it with a gun. It's more exciting with a gun, you know? Poison's a cowardly man's.
No, they say
Weapon.
poison is a woman's weapon.
They do say poison's a woman's, but that's because and less people have been caught. Less females have been caught for murder. Poison's a pretty smart weapon, but some people call it the coward's weapon as well because again, you're
Yeah.
less likely to get caught. You
You
don't
know,
confront your enemies face
or
to
you
face.
know what? Poison is the Russians' weapon. You know, because especially I'm not the KGB. I don't know whoever's in charge of Russia now, but I know that they get rid of their political enemies by giving them some rare like poisons out there, like what is this? It's not plutonium, but like radioactive chemicals in their drinks.
Oh, that's very unique. I also heard that ricin from castor bean.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Have you
yeah.
ever have you ever seen castor bean?
Yes, I have seen castor beans.
Yeah,
I'm.
so castor bean for our listeners, castor bean is a very common plant, especially if you're in Southern California.
They smell awful.
Yeah, they smell awful and they freak my husband out. Well, he's terrified of any plant that can kill you, which is why I always make a point to point them out to him.
Like,
So
hey,
castor
look,
bean
Brassica
inside
nigra, which is not poisonous. It's like what?
is it in the background somewhere? I'm missing it. But anyways, with castor
No.
bean, these inside of these beans right here, if you grind up the seeds
Yeah.
and you really want to kill somebody, that's the way to go. It'll kill them pretty quickly. In fact, some popular
Get them.
assassinations have been
Get them.
executed
Get
with
them.
ricin.
Yeah, you know what else is very common here? Nightshade,
What?
solanum,
Oh,
anything
yes.
solanum. There's so many nightshades out there.
Wow,
One
we're
of my
really
favorite.
digressing.
Yeah, one of our favorite is solanum xanthi.
Mm-hmm.
What's digressing? We appreciate the natural world that we live in.
Yes, we
These are
appreciate the
all
natural world.
things here in California. By the
Mm-hmm.
way,
They are all
listeners,
things
we are
here.
all from Southern. We both are from Southern California.
Yeah, I appreciate my natural environment. And also I like to freak out my husband when
Yeah.
because I know plants that you can eat and plants that you can't eat. So sometimes I pick a berry from a bush and he thinks I'm gonna die.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've taken lemonade berry out of like off the bush, and I'm just like sucking on it. They're like, it's
That's
cool.
precisely it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Lemonade berry.
Lemonade berry is so unique. It's amazing. Anyone who ever comes to Southern California, keep on the lookout for lemonade berries.
Mm-hmm.
We won't find them
All right.
anywhere. They don't sell them out. They don't sell them, but they're quite tasty.
Oh,
Just
they
don't
are.
eat it.
They are
Just suck on them.
absolutely. And if you have a water bottle, just toss a couple in there, and you'll
Yep.
figure out very quickly why they call it lemonade berry. Very tart, very sweet.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. So my ghost story is that with my family,
Yeah.
gosh, there's quite a few people in my family that really honestly believe in ghosts, and it's really hard for
Same.
me to tell them that I don't see a reason in it. In fact, with my husband's
Yeah.
family especially, and I suspect it might be tied into religion as well, because
Oh,
they're
you also have to think about it in a sense that culture. It's not just religion. It's culture. He's Central American, right?
yeah, he's
He's a
Central
big
American.
Death is a big part of their culture. I know
Mm-hmm.
this because of my mom's boyfriend Freddie, who he's the 1 month he will always take his vacation in October so he can go over and respect the dead. So he can go over, go home, and respect the dead. It's such a big deal to them. So this
Mm-hmm.
will always stick around. So ghosts, like your ancestors being there, it's big, it's huge in Latin American cultures in general.
Yes, but what I don't understand is how they hear things when they're not there. Maybe they have a sense that's beyond me, but I feel like I don't know. I'm like
I've
whenever they're like, "Oh my God, there was a person running through the hall," and I'm like, "Is this early onset schizophrenia?" I don't.
I don't think it's that. I don't
I
think it's
feel so
that.
out of place to say it.
You also have to think about what frequencies we can hear. There might be like certain frequencies that we're like more attuned to, where people are mistaking certain sounds, or their own head is like messing with what they think they're perceiving.
Yeah, it's true. It's kind of like how I can smell the future.
Yeah, you can smell the future.
Well, I mean, it's not that I can smell the future, but if anybody on this planet can smell the future, it's me, because I have an obnoxiously good nose. It's so good it hurts.
Me too. Except
Yeah.
it's not much smelling the future. It's just apparently I can smell things that people can't smell. So
Yeah, like I could.
I feel like a guard dog sometimes. No,
I
not
know
a
you.
guard dog, like a hound. It's like, oh, I could tell someone's smoking 3 houses away.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not 3 houses away, because there's just this big empty lot behind me. And I'm like, I'm smelling it from the living room, which is the farthest from the bedroom, which is where this empty lot is. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and even like my mom and my aunt are like, "How did you smell that?" They're like, "It just smells awful." You can tell. Maybe it's just some people are more sensitive to certain things, but I don't know how you can smell the future. This is a superpower. This is real. We need to get to the bottom of this. This is the kind of things that we need to investigate. How can people smell the future? Erica, you're
Yeah,
an anomaly.
maybe. I don't know. That's what my students said about me. because I always catch them in class when they're bringing in something they're not, and surprisingly, it's not just food.
Oh, what? Okay, you know what? What are kids bringing in?
Sometimes there was this one kid who was putting glue underneath the desk, and I could smell it. Because they do weird things at
This
that
is
age.
fun.
They do all sorts of weird things, and one of them's like, "I'm just gonna try. You know what? Today's gonna be a good day to just put glue on top of everything." And they were like lathering the bottom of the desk with glue, and I could smell it.
Oh,
It was just
it's
Elmer's.
probably
Pretty
some
easy
really
to
funky.
smell.
It's some funky. Oh, okay, never mind. I was thinking maybe it's that Gorilla Glue,
No, it
that
wasn't that
really
funky
strong
Gorilla
one.
Glue. It was just Elmer's. I
Yeah.
mean, that stuff, it's just you wait, and I had him peel it off the next day. It's not a big deal. But anyways, there was one time where I thought I could have been experiencing a ghost, and it was one of those situations where I felt like I was detached from my body. I was in high school,
Okay,
and
wait.
I think,
Was
and
this
I
like a
think
sleep
I was,
paralysis moment, or is this
I'm pretty
just
sure it was a
like
sleep paralysis moment.
really? So
Yeah, it was a
you're like your body you can't move.
Yeah, my body, I can't move, but then but I was watching my foot rise into the air. And I felt like my body was lifting off the floor, but I'm pretty sure it was because my brain was expanding really quickly, and it
What?
might have been that I was really stressed out, and I might have just been hallucinating, and I'm really comfortable with that.
Okay. I'm just imagining brain expansion.
hmm That's not the first time I've experienced lifting out, but
I've experienced
beyond
falling into
that,
my own bed, which is the weird. Like you feel like you're levitating in one moment, and then it's like falling into your own bed, and then you haven't fallen in anything. You just experience the sense of falling, but you haven't fallen anywhere. You're just on your own, on the same surface you were a few minutes ago. Oh, like a seconds ago.
oh, you're falling back into your body. Got it. Got it.
And it's
That's what you're
freaky.
talking about.
It's so freaky. But I
Never
don't
had that.
know.
Never
Never.
experienced
I
that.
experienced that way more than I should have.
hmm All right, we're going to talk about aliens now, because speaking
Yes.
of levitation, we're going to go on to aliens. Now, aliens, you might think of aliens, you might think of this wonderful chap right here. I have no idea what his name is, but I did give us an assignment this week, and that was to research an alien encounter or alien history. And
And
Lenore Ancient
I'm
Aliens
I'm
celebrating 10 years,
we're
possibly
celebrating 10 years.
more.
Mm.
Yes, Ancient Aliens, it has marked the beginning of the end. It's one of the many indicators that mark the beginning of the end for all things good on the History Channel. But at the same time, I honestly feel like they were really onto something. How do you feel about that, Lenny?
You know what? I think that they're completely full of bullshit. It just, I don't understand how aliens could build pyramids. It doesn't make sense.
I actually would disagree because they were sending out frequencies that were getting into people's brains that basically controlled human beings.
You can make a frequency. Frequency is just you can make that with a sound. Frequency is just any wave. Light can make waves. Sound can make waves. Waves can make waves. Movement. Anything.
That's why dolphins are basically the minions of aliens.
So, okay, dolphins are the minions of aliens?
Yes, dolphins are the minions of aliens. Why do you think that they're so freakishly smart? It just doesn't make any sense.
They're so useless. They're stuck in the ocean. Ha! Screw you, dolphins. You're stuck in the ocean. You can't use those giant brains to help us out to make some kind of crazy spaceship or anything. No, you're stuck. You're stuck in water now.
That's what they want you to think.
What are we going to relive that Simpsons episode? Is that what you're saying?
Maybe.
Okay,
Maybe not.
Okay, that's
I don't know. The Simpsons have been right about a lot of things. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Nobody thought that Donald Trump was going to become president, but they predicted it. I did,
because I knew I thought he would, because he's been saying it since the 80s that he's going to run. It's not new. It's not novel. He's been saying, I'm going to run for president. I'm going to run for president. I'm going to run for president. I know this because I would watch The Apprentice because that show was fun.
Well, what's going to be next? Is Kanye West actually going to get the presidential nomination?
Yes, because Yeezy 2020.
No, it's going to be 2024. Let's be real.
Birthday
party is still getting its roots.
Hey, I'm telling you, both of our candidates are going to die. Whoever's the VP is going to take over.
Well, we all die eventually. It's just a matter of when.
They're both so old, and dementia is so fast.
I don't know. I kind of feel like both of them are kind of getting dementia now. Like sometimes they fall asleep.
I'm telling you, they both have dementia. They're gonna disappear soon. And with COVID going around, like the Rona is gonna take them down. You know it.
Don't we have some Supreme Court justices that are in their 90s?
Yes, exactly. They're gonna get Rona too. So the next person's gonna be like, clean sweep. We got to put the new person in, new person in. As much as I love Ruth Bader Ginsburg, she's getting along in her age, and she's probably not gonna make it.
Is this a comment or a threat?
It's just a comment because I would feel really bad. She's amazing. Come on, she is hardcore.
Oh yeah, I mean, if she's been serving for that long.
Mad respect for that woman. That woman, like, I can believe that she'll like, the last thing she'll do is she'll punch death in the nose.
Yeah,
she'll go screaming.
Lenny, tell me this: if aliens aren't real, then what explains this?
Explains what?
This.
What the hell is that? It's like E.T. We're combined with a worm.
First off, they are called longbees, a very specific type of odd-body Furby.
Those things never left, did they?
Oh,
those things are
they never left.
What was it? The year they came out? 2000? 1999?
Oh, earlier.
They're the bane of last century.
Did they come out in the 80s?
I don't know.
They've been around for a lot. They've been around for the amount of time that I've been in existence. For sure.
I know when we were
they've been around since the 90s.
I know when we were in elementary school, they were the toy, and they freaked me out, and they still freak me out.
I feel like when I stare into a Furby's eyes, I feel things, and I feel things beyond this world, and that's why they have to
only thing you should feel is
in the image of aliens.
Disgust. Seriously?
They're aliens.
They're aliens. All right, so these toys that they sent us were aliens. Are you sure they weren't communication devices?
They are images of our alien brethren. They are living among us.
And
they are a friendly reminder for us to know that they're still here. They are still present. And we still find them beautiful. And we still worship them. Lenny,
Are you sure that's what their actual intention is? Because I can see their intention is just to watch us and just laugh at us as we do stupid shit repeatedly over and over again.
Like this is like a TV show? Is this a South Park
Yes,
episode?
yes, we are living in that South Park episode. Earth is just a TV show to them. They are just enjoying our stupidity.
All right. Well, if we so now that we've talked about this beauty right here, because clearly you don't know about these beauties, do you?
I only know
Except
what
for
you sent me. I only know of all the videos that you sent me that freak me out, and
so
them eating babies, and I don't understand the baby eating. What is this? A commentary on life? We're all just expendable to these things.
yes, we are just expendable to these things. So cult-like followings we never saw coming. So speaking of this beauty right here, and because I've been talking to Lenny about it, Lenny, how many videos have I sent you regarding
I've
Furbies this week?
I've lost track. Okay, but
All right.
you've given me enough nightmare fuel for the month. All right.
Okay, so did most of my videos look like this or something different?
No, they look. There's this guy wearing it as a face in the costume, and he's feeding it into other like long things,
I
and there's
think you're talking
worms.
about
There are
this
so many
Instagram right
worms.
here.
Yes, there are
Long
so many
Furby fam.
worms.
Yes.
You had them eat babies. You put and Kermit the Frog had his face like just planted into a boiling pot of water. It's like this. Is this how they make tea now? Is this
Yes,
what
it
is this
is.
a
It is
commentary on
exactly how they make tea. And first off, it's not just tea, it's also jello.
Jello? Okay, yeah, because no amphibians. I feel bad for amphibians. They got the short end of the evolutionary stick.
How so?
Well, I mean, besides the fact that 70% of amphibians on Earth are what's the term? They're endangered. The amount of amphibians in Central America that are going extinct at a rapid rate is just tragic. Deforestation, the rising temperature, being a great place, like great petri dish for an increase in molds and just less and less frogs. Frogs are
But
receiving a. They're just dying out. I just feel sad now. Yes, now we have to see the Paragon, the our favorite amphibian in the world, Kermit the Frog, have his face just smashed into a boiling pot of water to make tea for long bees.
that was, by the way, just shout out to Long Furby fam. That was one of the most beautiful performances I've ever seen. If it doesn't win an Oscar, then they're full of it because that was gorgeous. And I really appreciate you.
I appreciate
And
some of the theatrical scores that they had. That's true.
and if I'm being perfectly honest, when it comes to Kermit the Frog being boiled, those Furbies, they're not just Furbies, Lenny. They're us. We are the ones who
We're
are
the ones.
wiping out
You're right.
Kermits
You're
around the
right.
world.
Yeah. Okay. You know,
We're
this goes to your earlier argument that they're controlling us. So are we really at? Are we really at fault? Yes, yes, we really are at fault. It's entirely our fault.
it is, and they're
I'm
reminding us that it's our fault and it's our mess to clean, but we are selfish by nature.
Uh, yeah. Well, what can I say against that? I can also say that it had one of the best uses of a Weezer soundtrack that I ever heard. It definitely freaked me out.
Yes,
Then I
I
started
love
singing the Spider song.
all of them. I love absolutely all of them. So when it comes to
They're
Furbies,
feeding a babies in a jar and just trapping it in a jar, trapping that
yes,
Furby in the
that's
jar and just feeding it babies. It's
again special shout out to Long Furby fam. Really love you. Okay, but when it comes to Furbies, Furbies typically come in this format. There's not a lot of variation, but what a lot of people in the toy community do is they take those Furbies apart and they turn them into these guys right here, which are known as odd bodies. Now, one of the most popular type of odd body is the long bee Furby. Now, this could be an example of a long bee Furby. Generally speaking, they are very narrow, but they can take on different sizes. For example, giant pillow, this one right here, I think it's Chumbi, all right, or Chubby Furby. And this one is a Brontosaurus custom. What do you think of that one?
You know what? If we could genetically modify ourselves, who would not want to be a brontosaurus? Who would not want to be any kind of dinosaur? So yes, I think it's an excellent job, to be honest. Yeah, it looks
I
good.
believe they recently figured out that some dinosaurs had cancer.
I'll believe it, because of how big their cells are. Cancer is just uncontrolled cell growth.
Yeah. Now, we talked about Furbies, but another thing that the internet has controversially taken too far or not far enough. I think that the Furby community, we're just beginning to realize ourselves on
Yeah.
as to how far we are going to take ourselves. But
All right. This is
Shrek
just the beginning.
community,
It's just the beginning of the Furby community, but the Shrek community has existed since early 2000s, since the creation of. Oh, I know that it's definitely preceded Tumblr. I definitely know it's preceded many of the memes that we currently have today. I don't know. I think it's. At what point do you think from the movies it came out? After Shrek 2?
all I know is that I cannot watch the first Shrek movie because I kid you not, for about a year and a half straight, that was all my family would watch on Friday night. It was really terrible. There was a point in my life where if you
You're
gave
not a
me
believer.
one line from the Shrek movie, I would have been able to take that line and tell you every single line in that movie all the way up until the credits.
I'm making waffles.
Yeah, I know. Oh,
That's the only line I could remember. So,
yeah.
tell us about our ogre lord.
So that's the thing about the Ogre Lord. Apparently, as consequence of this Ogre Lord, Shrek Shrine, the official ogreism website, Shrek Shrine, was created around 2014 when I was snooping around the website, and it was last updated around 2016. Might have been abandoned, or maybe they figured they got all their stuff up there, but a lot of people are super into Shrek Shrines. By the way, have you ever seen a Shrek Shrine in person?
No,
You haven't.
no.
Have you ever seen one on Reddit?
I may probably. I spend more time on the A Song of Ice and Fire Reddit, to be honest.
Fair enough. So with Shrek shrines, the whole deal is in order to be an ogress, you need to make a Shrek shrine. A green cardboard box will make a great Shrek shrine, according to the website, which I just took a clip of right here. In the green cardboard box, you need to make a green pentagram to summon Shrek. And to summon Shrek, say, Shrek is life, Shrek is love, 3 times loudly. And by the way, my students
Okay,
are quite into this.
I think I've actually seen one of these. But this has been around for years. I'm surprised it's still around.
Oh yeah, it's all everywhere. It's on Roblox. In fact, MagCon, right before our country right before the whole world began to, retreat, back in January 2020 of this year, if you can believe it, they had their own Shrek shrine right there. Beautiful, isn't it?
I mean, I wasn't there. I can't tell you. There might be
Mhm.
something beyond what they're just showing us.
It might be because if you look really closely at this image here that appears
Yeah.
to be Angkor Wat, you can see Shrek right there, smiling.
Shrek at Angkor Wat. Oh, okay. So maybe he bestowed some power on your mom so she could get out of a horrible situation over there. Maybe Shrek really is a hero.
Or maybe because my mother never worshipped Shrek, the deities were upset and they brought on the Khmer Rouge. Oof, that's dark.
Oh man, yeah,
Let's talk about weddings now.
that's
So, Shrek is not just a shrine, it's not just a thing that you worship, it's a way of life. And beyond a way of life, people get married
Are you a believer?
as husband and wife.
Are you a believer?
In the official ogreism,
Yeah.
honestly, I'm afraid not to be.
But you are an all-star.
Yeah, I know you're gonna do all, and when I saw your face, I know, just don't,
You saw
if
my
you start
face.
me, I'm gonna start reciting all the lines from there, and it was already really scarring as a child, okay?
You think that's enough to make me stop? Don't.
No, I don't. I
You know
really don't. Because
don't. You know I'm the worst instigator you've ever met.
I know. I know. So it's a popular trend for a lot of people to get married and dress up as Shrek and Fiona and paint
And
themselves green.
notice that some of the
Eh,
guests include Snow White and
Yes.
Mr. T
Yes. This wedding
and
was pretty
Captain Hook.
awesome.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah,
and Buzz
lots of
Lightyear.
people in rando outfits. I think this one might be an Alice in Wonderland. I think I had that costume when I was in high school for
Notice that
Halloween.
this is probably the only time you'll see DreamWorks and Disney working along.
Yes. Very weird.
Very
Oh
weird.
yeah, there's Buzz Lightyear. What is that? What is that doing there?
I told
Although you
you.
know why they the whole premise behind Shrek, you know Lord Farquaad, the
Yes,
whole
I know. That
yeah,
he's
so
a commentary. Jeff, I know that a lot of it is aimed against Michael Eisner, right?
yes. Yes, they wanted to make Lord Farquaad in Michael Eisner's likeness. And in addition to that, do you know what Farquaad sounds like?
Yes, I do, and we will not repeat it.
Yes. Well, I will. Farquaad sounds like fuckwad.
Okay.
There we
I,
go. It's out there.
I didn't want to edit. I didn't want to do as much editing, but all right.
Oh,
No,
just put a little
it's
dolphin
still, it's
over
still,
it.
it's still, it's adult, it's adult themed. Anyway, I already put these as adult.
Oh, cool. Let's continue.
So
So I was
what
talking about
happened
Shrek
here?
weddings, and that's a little bit of romance, but you wanted to touch on
You
romance.
know exactly what I wanted to talk about. You know exactly what I'm planning to do. You know exactly what cult I'm planning to adhere to. Except I'm already a member of a different cult, so I can't join it, but I can talk about it.
What is your cult?
I will discuss that further in another video.
Fair enough, fair enough. All right, let's hit this up.
Let's just say it adheres to understanding the knowledge of the universe
Fair
and getting to Mars. And it's
the
headquartered,
futurist.
yeah, and it's headquartered here in my home city of Hawthorne, California.
Fabulous. But let's talk about tigers.
Let me talk to you about Tiger King. But first off, when I'm telling you about the cults of Tiger King, we have to start with the most infamous cult leader here. Not infamous, but one of the most successful cult leaders, and that would be Doc Antle. Doc Antle has his own little estate at Myrtle Beach, where where his girlfriends and his wives live at, along with this very eclectic group of tigers and other animals, including primates. He's a big primate guy. You can visit and hang out with the animals, hang out with some tigers, get to pet some tiger cubs. The big thing there is but the women there are paid like $100 a week. It's very minimal, but they live there and they stay and take care of their tigers. They learn, and they live a vegetarian lifestyle. They use yoga to train animals. They live a very like natural kind of utopia model home setting. They each live in a different house, and to get ahead in this organization, usually the women have to sleep with the Arcantal. Not all.
That's Wait, you said he has girlfriends and wives?
He has girlfriends and wives, and he's a very polyamorous lifestyle.
What state is this again?
Florida.
Gosh, Florida. All
Yeah.
right.
All right. Hey, this is not just in Florida. Things like this happen in South Carolina and in Oklahoma as well.
Fascinating.
You need to watch Tiger King. This is all in the second episode.
I I feel like I really do. You see, when I saw Tiger King, the
When I
first
would
thing I saw was that dude's face on the cover.
you mean Joe Exotic? I'll get to
Yeah,
Joe
I saw
Exotic.
Joe Exotic's face and I looked into his eyes and I was like, this is everything that I am definitely not interested in.
Let's see if I can convince
Continue
you later.
or
Let's see if I can convince you later. Because
yeah, but also
I
beyond
don't.
that, I feel like if I got into it, I would feel really terrible for being super interested in it.
All right, so let me continue. Let me add a little bit more about Doc Antle. Um, Everyone calls him the Bhagavan. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but he has this very Eastern sounding, like a Buddhist influenced name.
Pseudo
And
Buddhist.
yes, pseudo Buddhist.
Sure.
Its name is he basically calls himself Lord or God. That's what his first name, like in quotations, means. And so people will either call him that or they'll just call him Doc because it's easier to say. However, Doc Antle is also a very successful entrepreneur in his tiger business, as you can see on this photo here that I've shared from Doc Antle's own Instagram account. He is even friends with The Undertaker, the famous professional wrestler.
Can I be honest with you right now?
Yeah.
I'm so disappointed.
It's a very weird. You need to watch this documentary.
No, I'm not disappointed about that. It's
And
not
The
that.
Undertaker. Well, he's a very southern boy. He's
Nope, it's
from
not
Texas.
that.
What?
Not either. I'm so disappointed that this is not in Comic Sans. That this
Oh.
slide has Arial font type and it's not in Comic Sans, and I feel like it's a threat to me.
I don't
And
know when.
and I see it, and you know what? I feel intimidated by it. I feel almost offended by it, just like a Science Journal article. Why would you do that to me?
Why would I do that to you? Because I want you to be offended. I want you to feel how horrible I felt when I saw one of my heroes and idols hanging out with this crazy guy.
I see.
I need you to understand why this picture is in black and white. Why
So
a
this
man I
isn't.
respected, why a man I respected in Mark Calloway is hanging out with an infamous Tiger King. As kind as I've presented is, I do not adhere to any of these lifestyle choices. I believe there's a lot going wrong in this entire Tiger Kingdom community, these Tiger owner communities. If you should watch the documentary series, I'm sure many people who will listen to this have already done so.
Fair enough.
And I forgot to mention another thing about Doc Antle. He very much insists, or he pushes a lot of his girlfriends or the women that work with him. Like many of them are young girls that are just drawn into like this strange novel lifestyle. Right? He pushes them to like get bigger breasts and those kinds of things. As you can see in the picture on the left, these are some of the girls who work with him. They take care of tigers. It's like you're basically living this kind of lifestyle in this kind of way in this area, and you're free to go. That they always say you're free to go, but can you really afford to go? Where will you go? That's the scary thing. Now, continuing forward, because this guy's pretty messed up. Now I want to describe to you another special character who I have the honor of sharing my birthday with, and is the star of the series Tiger King, Joe Exotic. As you can see by the hearts, I'm just more enamored with the fact that, hey, I share my birthday with someone special, because someone famous or someone weird or strange, because that's like an automatic check mark with me, because birthdays are really important in my family. I don't get why, they are. Now, Joe Exotic, he's seen him as a mentor. He has his own cult like following back where he is from, including his 3 husbands. Well, at the time, his many different husbands, because Joe is also gay. He's very flamboyant about it. He's very open about it, which is respectable. He's ran for office, so he is also an you could say he's an ex-politician, and he's currently in jail for trying to murder Carol Baskins. Who,
What?
you need to see Tiger King because it's so strange, like telling you these things. It's like, oh yeah, these things happen, and you're like, what? You'll need to check out the documentary. Now, I want you to see. He's also my. I was gonna go more crazy into this because he's my spirit guide. Because I've just seen how crazy this world is through Joe Exotic, through his through his series, through his diss tracks, through his his YouTube channel, and his campaigning. And you know what? If the world is as crazy as Joe Exotic is, then we'll all be all right. And would you please click on the tiger?
That's the most
Yes.
beautiful thing I've ever seen.
As like me, I will fly high with this tiger.
Beautiful.
Woo!
Is that from Uncle Grandpa?
You know it. You have
Yes.
a realistic flying tiger. Who does not like flying tigers? Now,
Is that actual blood on Joe Exotic's chest right now?
what blood? There's no blood.
What is this? because that's not his nipple.
Is it? It might be.
Jesus.
Maybe it's one of his tattoos. That's him with 2 of his husbands. Rest in peace, Travis.
What happened to Travis?
Okay, so it was a misfire. He was like trying to show someone how to use a gun, and it misfired, and
Oh man, poor Travis.
yeah, he was very young.
How unfortunate.
So
And he sings?
yeah, you can call it that. But he has his own diss track called Here Kitty Kitty, and I think that one is from I Saw a Tiger. Yes, that's from I Saw a Tiger. He is very open to his love of tigers and men, and if you pay attention, I'm pretty sure it's heroin.
Fair enough.
Okay.
What?
And that's yeah. So that's how he keeps some of his husbands through drugs.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So there's these two. The two pictured here are probably straight, but they did get married.
What?
Just hearing your reactions from this, you need to watch Tiger King.
Jesus Christ, I apparently do.
Because this is America.
You know what?
This is the insanity that is America. The things that you could do in the United States that are absolutely absurd anywhere else in the world. That is how we know Joe Exotic was the hero we need, because we know how insane our country can be, how insane our world is, how we just have to embrace the insanity of today. We can't. What can we do? Otherwise, we really will go.
Okay, so here's the thing with America, though. Our country is so big, and everybody from different countries, they think that what's happening in Florida is the same thing as what's happening, in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And they're a completely different coast.
This is true. Also, but I also feel that way about Orange County, and I could drive there in 30 minutes.
Fair enough. I think that's all we have today.
Is that all we have?
Yeah.
Anything else you'd like to add? What will you consider watching Tiger King? Do you consider Joe Exotic the strange, bizarre character I'm sharing?
I do not think he is a hero. I barely even consider him an anti-hero. I think he really concerns me.
He is a concerning individual. I do not consider this person a good person.
I don't know if he's the hero. Like, is he really the hero we need? I really question that. I really do. I don't think I think he's one of those celebrities that's going to get a lot of attention, and we really don't need him to get attention.
That's true. He does feed his tigers. He did feed his tigers expired meat.
What?
Everything I say to you, it's like I can't not laugh at this because you don't know it. So let's see if from my notes, like this is me exposing you to the first things of the Tiger King world. All right.
I just don't. Look, I saw that documentary and I'm like, I'm not going to give it another view, because then it's going to encourage Netflix to hunt out more crazies, and it's going to encourage them to make things about crazies, and it's going to encourage people to be crazy. I can't get behind it.
We already live in a crazy world. At this point, it's
I suppose so.
Reality.
I suppose so. There's just no... Man, this is like the worst. I feel so bad. Why America? Who
America?
Hurt you?
Everyone.
I think it's 40 years of consistently defunding education.
Yes, ourselves. We have hurt ourselves. We should end this with our statement to America that we need to fund education. We need to fix our system. We need to stop making Texas the main center of how we educate the entire country. Because that's true.
There are pros and cons with Texas.
There are pros and cons with Texas, but right now, when we have a very conservative legislature in Texas, I don't know if that's necessarily right for the rest of America.
Yeah, and they are a lot of there's a lot of school districts there that are pretty against teaching about climate change, which is unfortunate because that's a major part.
And remember,
of
some places are
pushing
creationism.
Yeah.
As an educator, I see. As you are an educator, I see. I have left you on a downer ending.
That's fine. It's okay. Nothing matters anymore. It's
Nothing matters
2020.
anymore.
I
2020.
You know what? I am
Woo!
literally in a closet on my computer right now, and that is where I will continue to be for the rest of 2020 as I manage 150 to 180 students.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn it.
Just faces on your computer that you can't see.
Totally.
And as a science
Okay.
teacher, yeah. So
No, we can't end it on this. I'm gonna end it on something that makes me happy. We're gonna talk about long bees. I love long bees. I love Furbies. I love their absurdity. I love their nonsense. I love how they talk about the deeper things to humanity. We are not ending this on Joe Exotic. I'm sorry. I'm taking over. We are not ending this on Joe Exotic. We are gonna talk about Furbies right now. Furbies are beautiful, they're amazing, they're majestic, and they're everything that I ever aspire to be. One day I'm going to transcend
one
this
day you
earth
will
and
transcend
I'm
this
going
earth
to
as
become a
a Furby.
Furby.
One day you're going to transcend this earth as a Furby. All right.
Yes, I am no longer going to transform into that starfish you see in the corner of your room. I am going to transform into straight up Furby. Just
Wait,
wait for my powers to grow stronger
have
because
you
they
been
will.
watching me in my room? What? Oh shit! That's what that starfish was for. I thought my mom found some kind of fossil when she went to the beach.
You don't even know.
I don't even. What have you seen? What have you seen?
Just my final form.
That
Stop it.
your final form is not pretty cheap. All right, stop messing with my humanity. All right.
Humanity is dead. Good night.
Good night, everyone. Good night.